Hello and hi to all of you out there, all you lovely, and lovely people out there in YouTube land. I'm still Josh Kloss, and this is still Princess Tober. This is day 2. On day 2, our prompt is Blade Princess. I've got my pencils down ahead of time so that I know what I'm going to draw, because I live in constant fear that I'm going to start one of these and not have an idea of what to draw, and it's just going to be the absolute worst. Maybe I'll face my fear one of these days and just do a freestyle stream. But this is not that day. Today we draw the Blade Princess. And I feel like if you're the Blade Princess, having just one blade isn't going to cut it, and I recognize this blade is a little bit crooked. Let me actually fix this up right quick before we get too deep into it. So I've done some computer-aided enhancements of this particular pencil to make the proportions match up what I want. And a princess with a sword, if you want to know my opinion, is a very good thing. So she's got her sword, sort of a great sword, more of a long sword. It's got a sheath down here that needs to be a bit bigger. So before we get started, let's go ahead and fix all the problems I made for myself while I was penciling it. Sheath not big enough. Check. And then she's got this belt, sort of a sash deal. And she's got 2 knives on there. In case you need 2 knives, it's good to have 2 knives. Where you keep all things most precious to you, close to your heart. So we're going to go ahead and get started with some inks. Starting with, I think the tiara is going to be the quintessential princess element. This one's going to be a little bit different than the one we did for the student princess. This one's going to be more singularly focused in a simple but elegant diamond gem up at the top here. How's that? That's pretty good. Clean this up a bit. Lots of angles in the hairstyle. Lots of sharp angles. Get it? Because blade. This is not a character design I would like to use on a regular basis because there are so many intricacies that would be very easy to not be continuously represented properly. But for a single drawing, sure, let's make the hairstyle a little bit wild. Not quite that. Let's try something like this. Yes, I like that. Come up here like so. Right around the tiara. Here it gets tamped down a bit. I like it. Other side of the tiara, we've got that going on. So for the student princess, our quintessential item was a piece of toast clutched in the mouth. For a blade princess, it's a blade. Both of them perfectly respectable for a princess to be carrying. And she is a rather fun-loving and cheerful blade princess, not one of those overly serious types. Says, "Ooh, I've got a sword, so I've got to really be dour and glum all the time." Nope, she enjoys her position as the Blade Princess. And in the Blade Kingdom, she sort of acts as a goodwill ambassador to all the peoples. And she's very well beloved amongst her... I don't know, she doesn't like to call them subjects, but I suppose that's what they are. That's not quite right. Let's see if this makes it any better. Do like that. How does that look? If I look at my actual hand, I sort of have something more like that. This smooths out a little bit, like so. This finger looks a little bit too narrow. Sort of erase my way through here with the pen, which is a nice option I have available to me working with digital ink. Some people will tell you that Inktober is all about using real physical ink and that using a drawing software is of the devil or something. That's no good. Do it however you want. You can do Inktober by drawing in the sand and letting the ocean wash it away and never sharing it with a soul. You can do it by drawing it on the back of the Declaration of Independence next to the map. Just draw something that makes you happy, makes your heart happy, and where your thumb looks more like a thumb than what I've done it. That one's not necessary, but I recommend it personally because this needs a little bit of work. So let's see what we've got. What's the angle we've got? So she's doing it like this. These fingers are what's not quite right at the moment. Whenever I draw hands, unless they're in a pretty standard position, it does take me a few tries. Even when they are in a standard position, sometimes even then, it takes me a little while. But this should be more like, yeah, because the fingers got to go somewhere. Fingers got a fing. How's that combined with that? And then I think these fingers just need to be longer to compensate or to balance. I think in my pencils they were longer and then I just ignored that. That sounds a lot like something I would do. I don't mean to, but... this is a bit iffy, but we're on the right track now. Clean this up. That's still a bit of a mess, but I like that better. Yes. Yes. As Wirt would say. Maybe she's wearing gloves? No, that's a cop-out. That's a cop-out, Josh. You don't need to stoop to that level. Yesterday when I started streaming, I got like 6 viewers. And I did start panicking and start talking and drawing way too fast. Which is a mixed blessing. Because then I had more time at the end for coloring, but also I was legitimately sweating a little bit. So I would appreciate a few viewers. It's also nice to just talk to the vacuum of space. That's also good. And to future viewers. Hello, future viewer. I hope you're having a pleasant future. If you are watching, I don't mean to insult you, but YouTube isn't telling me that you're here, so I also want to greet you but I have no knowledge of your existence, so that's why I'm not acknowledging your existence. Let's see. Let's do a separate layer for these blades, these knives, these knives. I think they're going to be curved like so, come to an edge there, and then a little something like that for the handle, the guard, if you will, and then up here. I think these are going to be just like so, and then we'll go shoo, shoo. Wow. The important thing about a knife is it's got to be easy to grip. Because if you're in the middle of a knife fight, you don't want to lose your grip on that thing. These knives probably have names that she's given them. I'm going to go with Stuart and Humphrey. I think that which one's which? Yeah, this is definitely Humphrey. So this is Humphrey. And so rotate the canvas. Here we've got Humphrey. And here we've got Stuart. Because it's important to name your blades so that they really feel like they're a part of the family. Because that way they're more likely to keep up their end of the bargain in the fight. Belt comes along like so, and then widens back out a bit, comes along down here. Okay. This comes like this. The blade princess tunic. Very good so far. See, that comes around there, so this one is actually gonna sort of cut off right around here, billow a bit. Very good. This is going to come like so. I like it. Then she's got a belt along here, which is what her longsword sheath is hanging off of. Longsword's got to have a name too, but we have time to come up with that one. So here's our sheath. You tell me princess can't wear pants, then I'm going to tell you, forget you. Blade princess does. And it's got pockets. Really good pockets. So deal with that. Why don't you? Is there going to be a buckle? There's time I might add in a buckle. Add some more into my tiara here. Guess it's technically her tiara, but I'll also claim partial ownership of it. I'm the one drawing it after all. I think I have the right. Hair's looking real good, if I say so myself. Which I do. We've got a pretty good layout, except for the left hand and the sword so far. This might be a bit too busy. We'll have to see in a second. Yeah, it's a little bit much. Let's simplify. See how that looks without the pencils. So far, so good. Need to fix up this spot right here where her head sort of disappears a little bit. That's not great. That neck looks a little bit thin. Let's bring this a little bit out then. Like so. Just a little bit. Not too bad. Fill in the details down here. Fill in the details up here. How's that looking? I like that. I'm missing this. I don't know why I haven't done this yet, but I sure haven't. That's 100% true. That one's on me because it could not be on anyone else. And I think she's, over the years, she's drawn a few slash marks in this shirt. It's her favorite shirt. So down here you can see that part's got a pretty good rip in it. I think that'll do. Then over here we've got a much bigger one where when she was careless, she got tagged. All in good fun, but, you know, you got to practice your swordmanship or sword personship. I don't know if that's the more acceptable term. Your sword skills, your mad sword skills. Nothing else that's true. So that's going to give her arm coming right around there. She's got a little bit of a scar right there. Well tended to, of course, but still, the scar remains. Yeah, when you're the Blade Princess, you're going to end up being very good friends with your doctor and nurse. You're going to want to keep in very good standing with them. Let's get this much drawn and then switch layers, I think. This thumb looks a little bit wonky. So let's bring it out like that. Ooh, I do like that. Yes, please. So there's the thumb crumbing across. As I use my word mouth to make the words. And here she's holding it upright. It's sideways from what it is in the tiara, but the same diamond pattern she has in the tiara also appears in the, there's a technical word for it. Pommel weight? It might be the pommel weight of her sword. Makes it so it's nice and balanced, which is good. You want a balanced sword. I said I was going to start a new layer. I might be making a liar of myself because this is working out just fine so far. I'm probably going to regret it. Probably going to say, oh, I wish I had done a different layer here. Yeah, it looks a little bit uneven, but not enough for me to go back and fix it, so I'll stick with it. How does this look? Pretty good. That's pretty good. Alright, need a little bit of a brain break to check something right quick. Alright, we're back. Stuart and Humphrey hanging out. I think we might not end up knowing what the longsword's name is, because the sheath is hidden. Matilda? My brain says that it's Matilda right now. Matilda would be a pretty good name. This time I will definitely switch layers because we're going to be coming up against another layer directly. So this is going sort of like this. And that's a sword. And it's really good. And I think that's our pencils just about done. I do want to add back in some of this detail that I have right here where this piece of the leather tunic cover business that she's wearing comes off a little asymmetric, like to the side over here. Counterbalancing with the belt. And I think that's it for pencils. Sorry, for inks that are based on the pencils. So that gives us our basic layout. I think this is a little bit off, but again, like with the sword hilt, not enough that I'm going to spend too much time fiddling with it just for the interest of time. I'm going to try and do some honest to goodness ink-based shading before we get into coloring. So do a little bit of cross-hatching of the shirt. Good, good, good. Patch that up a bit. This goes sort of like this. I like that. And then a little bit more over here. Like so. Ooh, I like it. Then in here, same texturing. Going on with this piece. And the pants a little. In here, I think just some nice vertical lineage. It's going to do us nicely. Just some real thin and delicate lines going on in here. I think for the sheath, just a little bit of a, and then for the sword, is this any good? That's not bad. And then out here, we do something like this, and like this, and like this. And I like that a lot, and that was a lot easier than I was afraid it was going to be. Round that out a little bit, bring this in a little bit. Do something sort of like this a little bit. And I like that. I think that's really nice. For the, again, I think it's a pommel weight. I could be completely wrong about that, but that's what I'm going to keep calling it for the moment. See if this looks nice. I think instead I want something more like that, and then like that. And then like that, and then like that. Yes. It's really very quite good. And then our belt needs a little bit of work. I haven't done the eyes yet. That's what I need to do after this one. When I'm doing comics, I always save the eyes for a step after the inking, which is why I haven't done them yet, just not in my normal process. So I wasn't thinking of it. And then this belt, a little bit thicker of the lines, but still the same idea. Very good. Some of this down here. Let's get some eyes. Just the one, actually, because the other one's closed. Again, G pen, because if I use the textured pen, it looks a real mess, and that's not what we're here for. So bring this in like this. A little bit of reflection. Add a little bit of pop. And we move on to colors right at the 30-minute mark, or a little bit after, depending on how your clock's going. I have some colors I could use right here from one of my comics, but let's see. Yeah, let's just say that this is gonna go with this one. See how this works? It's not bad. It's not bad. I can work with that. Let's see if I bring it down a bit. See how that treats us. Maybe. Ooh, I think so. I think we're going to go with this. Darkened up just a little bit. I like that. That's real good. Now we can get in the eye. The eyes have it. No one's ever made that joke, so I'm glad that I was here to do it tonight, October 2nd, 2018. So we got this. Let's go for some green eyes, I think. Again, I should say, let's go for a green eye because she just has the one open. That's the one we're going to see. Who knows what color the other one is? Maybe it's... Oop. It's a little bit terrifying, and I apologize for that. Maybe it's purple. Maybe it's a purple eye. That might be a little bit too big, or maybe it's perfect. I think it's a little bit too big. So I'm going to cheat a little bit, shrink this down. Recenter that. Bring us back over to colors. Fill all this in. Fill in that. White. Nope. I wanted white and I grabbed something between white and green. And actually this needs to come in up here. It's really the main thing. And I think we're going to add a little texture to this eye here. So we're going to add a little bit of do, 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 do. And then a little bit of boop, 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 do, 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 do. And I like that. The issue now is that my the eye bits are running a little bit rampant, so we need to tuck this in just a little bit like so. But other than that, now our color slides right in there. I think that eye's looking real good. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan Ha ha ha. And then for the hair, what do I want? I've got orange I could go with. I could go for a straight red. That's not bad at all. Now, it does help when I hit the right target. I think that's filled in all my red down here. Let's get this while I'm here. Break back out the pen to get that Bart. That Bart, just like Bart. Matt Groening writes, just like Bart. I think this is going to be a gold tiara. A little bit more, a little bit more. Ooh. What does that look like? Ooh, that would have been tempting. But now I've got the gold tiara. I'm going to leave it as is. Just a little bit of darkness. Perfect. And then the gem for the Blade Princess. See, I've done a purple with some greens. Is red going to be too much with the red? It sort of just blends in, huh? What about an orange? Not feeling it. A green, not feeling it. A blue. Now that I can get behind. And then while I'm here, let's shade this up a little bit. So let's give a little bit of a cut. And then a little bit of darkness down. Oop, that's too much. Just a little hint. That's all I want right down here. So bring that back up a bit. So we've got that. A little bit more up. Oop, nope, bad, bad. Yeah. Yeah. We've got a tiara. We've got a sword that we've got a color. Maybe the sword is the same color as the gem, or maybe that's going to be terrible. That's pretty bad, but if I dull it out a little bit, it might be okay. Yes. That's what I thought. And here, carry on the gold sword. Maybe actually. Let's alternate through a little bit. Maybe a little silver and gold. Yeah, I never thought I was going to make that one. Is that good? It's a little bit. I think it feels a little bit bulky, but we'll work with it. And we're going to ride with it for the moment. And if we hate it later on, we can come back and fix it. For the grip, let's go for a dark brown. Darkish brown. Then down here, same color for our gemstone in here. Again, we want the beveling, the cut. This just needs to come like that, and then like that, and then like that, and then also like this. And then mostly for the interest of time, we're going to move on from that. And then here, we're going to go paka, paka, and then pachu, pachu. And I'm starting to really like that. Get our handles, our hilts, if you will, and our guards colored. Let's make this a slightly lighter shade of brown and see if we don't hate this. It's not great. Maybe that, maybe this? It's a little bit garish. Maybe that? I want to make it clear it's the hilt. Or not the hilt, the sheath, and not the blade itself. So let's try a real washed out version of this. That I can work with. Stuart and Humphrey, cozy in their sheaths. This is going to be a darker shade. Very good. Yes, this is working out nicely. 18 minutes on the clock. We've got plenty of time to finish up our princess. I don't want to name my princesses because I want you to be able to name the princesses on their own if you so desire. And so I feel comfortable giving her sword or her daggers the names Stuart and Humphrey. But as for her name, I don't know. I don't know. That one's going to be up to you. How does this look? Might be a little bit too much. Let's bring it down and saturate it a bit more. Yes. Turn off that while I get this in here. Nope. Yep. Pretty good. So we've got blue and brown. Can I get a real nice and dusky sort of pink? Pinkish purplish. And if so, what does that look like? That's pretty a-okay if you ask my opinion about it. Yeah. Yeah, I think we've got ourselves a genuine bona fide princess right here. And now all we need is a background. We can definitely do that in 15 minutes. Do we just want to do that? It blends in a bit with the sword. We've got time to do a bit more of an honest job than that. What I will do is background to the background, do something like that. Actually, now I have that in there, that's not too bad at all, but it's a daytime sky. Let's see. Doing something a little bit like this. A little bit like this. And then layer above it. Get a textured pen. Pretty faded background, sort of green. more saturated of green as we get closer. And then alternate it back. Then in here, add a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then over on the other side, same idea. Let's get a nice base coat in here. Bring us back down to the 80. Hiya. Hiya. And hiya. And then in here, I can do a little bit of this to make it real grass-like. And then I can do the opposite in the lighter green parts. Make it look a bit more grassy. Then along the edges, just do a little bit of shimmy shake. Real gentle with the brush. Just give it a little bit more of a rough and more of a natural edge that way. And then in here, shoop 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 shoop. Okay. There's something that I thought I got inspiration to do while I was doing that. Now I can't remember it, except I do something that tends to bug me a little bit, is I do want to make this a little bit of a differentiation just right in here. Just give that little bit of depth underneath the chin. And I could do that elsewhere, but that's going to be fine. I think I remember. I wanted my gold look a little bit more goldy. So let's add a bit more of a sheen and a shine. And then some spots where it's a little bit dingier, where the sun's not shining quite so brightly upon it. And then another layer right on the edges where it's just getting all sorts of sunlight. Same idea up here. Right up here we get some good sunlight on it. So we've got that going on. A little bit on the hair too. I think I like that a lot, and I think it's really good. Dreadest symmetry test. It's a little bit wonky. It's a little bit wonky right here, I will say. But yeah, and in this hand, do I have time to broaden this out a bit? Sure, why not? Let's see if we can't fix this. Just a little bit narrow right here. That'll be an easy color fix too, so that's no problem. Let's bring this up like so. And then over here, we're going to come like this and like this instead. We erase out this piece right here. Color. Ink. That's better. That's better. Yeah. Looks more like a real people hand. Okay. I think we're going to call this one done. We're going to come with a new layer down here, and we're going to sign our work because we're proud of our work. Take a few tries at it, and then we say, yep, this is how I write my name again. And that is day number 2, Blade Princess complete. And I'm going to post this on Twitter in just a second. And if you're watching on the archives, thanks for tuning in, because you're the only one seeing this. And I'll see you around this time again tomorrow. If you want to tune in live, have a good time. We're going to be doing the Dragon Princess. We're going to be sketching that out when I'm done here. Until next time, have a good one. Take care of yourself. And I love you. Bye-bye.